in our last video lecture the fundamental unit of every living organism, that is cell. Cell is made up of different material. Who invented the name, that is cell? We already discussed the different scientists. What is a unicellular organism? What is a multicellular organism? This all kind of things we already discussed in our last lecture. So in the last lecture we started that what are the different types of specific organ which are present in the particular cell. So there basic three things are there in the cell. That is, one is plasma membrane, second that is nucleus, and third that is a cytoplasm. Three things, cytoplasm and protoplasm both are same. One, that is plasma membrane, second that is nucleus, third that is cytoplasm. Three things are present in each and every cell. These are the function. These are all doing the function, and different organisms have different types of cell. And but these three things, plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm, these are present each and every cell. Okay, so first of all, we will start from plasma membrane. What is plasma membrane? So we will discuss about the plasma membrane. So plasma membrane, that is the outer layer of each and every cell. Like here, I can draw a shape of a cell. Suppose this is a shell, the shape and size of cell. Okay, this outer covering part, that is known as plasma membrane. This plasma membrane provides a strength to the particular cell. One type, that is a cell, that is known as plasma membrane. Each and everything which is inside the nucleus, inside the plasma membrane, that is a nucleus present in the plasma membrane, and certain types of liquid that is present in the plasma membrane, that is known as cytoplasm. Here I can label it down. This is plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm, that is a fluid. So here plasma membrane is also known as selectively permeable membrane. So sir, why it is known as selectively permeable membrane? So the thing is that whatever we eat, whatever we get nutrition from the food, and we can respire the oxygen, we take oxygen from the environment. So plasma membrane can allow, only one thing is responsible for whatever you get, nutrients or oxygen or carbon dioxide, inside the cell and outside the cell. Who will give permission to take oxygen? That plasma membrane. If it does not allow, so not such thing, no anything, whatever nutrients or oxygen, they cannot allow to go inside the cell. So that is known as plasma membrane. So that is known as selectively plasma membrane, selectively permeable membrane. Yes. So here the conclusion is that is also known as selectively permeable membrane, because without its permission, no one gets inside the cell. I take one example, that the respiration process. You take oxygen from the environment, and what is the waste material inside your body? That is a carbon dioxide. You exhale a carbon dioxide. You take oxygen inside the body, and outside the what will you exhale? That is carbon dioxide. So if you take oxygen from the environment, so each and every cell get that oxygen, but who will give permission? That is plasma membrane. So you need to think that always the thing is goes to higher concentration to the lower concentration. So here in the atmosphere, this is the cell and this is the atmosphere, environment. This is the environment. Okay, in the cell there is a carbon dioxide is more. Okay, from the cell, if we exhale, if we remove out the carbon dioxide into the environment, so here carbon dioxide is low in the atmosphere. So always diffusion process, you already studied that process, diffusion process always higher concentration to lower concentration, always goes higher concentration to the lower concentration. So inside the cell carbon dioxide is more, and in environment the carbon dioxide is low. So from the cell carbon dioxide move from higher concentration to the lower concentration. On the another side, on the another part of this, in the environment, that is oxygen is more, and in the cell oxygen is less. So on the contrary, on the another thing, it is exactly opposite to this process. Here a higher concentration in the environment and lower in the cell. So oxygen always diffuse from higher concentration to the lower concentration. This process is known as diffusion. This process is known as diffusion. Another process, that cell get absorb water from the outside environment. So that process is known as osmosis. That process is known as osmosis. I take one example. You just take that grapes, that dry grapes. You can put into water for whole night. What you will see, the cell of that grapes that swollen out. Why? Because that dry grapes absorb water from the environment, and that cell of that particular grape that swollen. So in osmosis process there is a three different types. One is hypotonic solution, second one is isotonic solution, and third one is hypertonic solution. On the osmosis process, we can classify these three different types of solution. One is a hypotonic solution, second one is isotonic, and third one is hypertonic. Osmosis process, we can divide it by three different types of solution: 1, 2, and 3. In one number, that is hypertonic solution. Hypotonic. Either you write here or where. Hypotonic solution, isotonic solution, and third one, that is hypertonic solution. These are the three different types of solution in the osmosis process. So what is the difference of these three types of solution in hypotonic, in isotonic, and hypertonic solution? So I can describe here. In hypertonic solution, what process? Hypertonic, second one is isotonic, and third one, that is hypertonic. So in this process, the absorption of the water is, in this process, osmosis process, water is inside the cell and as well as outside the cell, both two-way communication is present in the osmosis process, that get absorbed water and as well as that is exited out of the water also. Two-way communication process in the osmosis. But in some cases the water is incoming, the water is absorbing is more, and that they cannot exit that such amount of water. So here in hypotonic solution the amount of water is absorbed more, water absorb more and exit less. So in this case incoming is more and outgoing that is less. The water of outgoing that is less, that is known as hypotonic solution. So in this case what thing happens? The cell becomes swelled. Cell becomes swollen. Swell, that means its size that is increasing. The size of the cell that is increasing. As I give the example, the dry grapes. What is the size of the first? If you cannot put it into water, the size is small. If you put into water for whole day, what can happen? The size of the particular grapes that is increasing. So that is known as hypotonic solution. In this example, the cell absorb water. Incoming is more, and outgoing of water is very less. So that is known as hypotonic solution. In isotonic solution is, I said, two-way communication in osmosis process. But in this case is incoming and outgoing of water both are same. Incoming and outgoing of water both are same. So the what is the result of this? So neither increasing or decreasing. Cell cannot change their shape, cannot increases, cannot decreases. So here in isotonic solution there is a no change in shape. So that is known as no change in any cell. That is in isotonic solution. Now here, what is hypertonic solution? In what is hypertonic solution? So in hypertonic solution, it is completely opposite to the hypotonic solution. Here, incoming is less and outgoing is more. So in this case, the cell will shrinkage, that size was decreasing. Cell that is here increasing, the increasing, and here shrinkage that means size of that particular cells that is decreasing. Yes, so here the hypotonic solution, isotonic solution and hypertonic solution is completed. Here is the plasma membrane, structure of plasma membrane, diffusion process, osmosis process, and this is structure of plasma, that is a nucleus, right? So now I will move forward on the next topic, that is the cell wall. So cell wall is present in the plant cell. Cell wall is present in the plant cell. So what is cell wall? So that cell wall that present in plant cell, that is our that plasma membrane, additional strength is provided by this cell wall. Additional strength that is provided by this cell wall. Additional outside the plasma membrane that is present cell wall that is in the plant cell. Additional strength is provided by this thing. Okay, it also provides turgidity and rigidity of the cell. Turgidity and strength. Rigidity, as you know the term, the word that means rigidity. It provides rigidity to the cell. Let I take one more example. You take a dry ice or dry grapes, okay, and you just whatever experiment I asked in after before 2 to 3 minutes, you can just put it into water. So what thing happens is for hypotonic solution, the swelling, the particular grape is swollen and the size of that thing is increasing. So is it possible, like a balloon, if we if we blow the balloon by air, blow and blow, so one times beyond the capacity balloon that burst out. But is it possible in this case? Is it grapes is burst out, that liquid is comes out from the cell? No. Why? Because here is a cell wall is present. Here that is cell wall is present. So cell wall create a pressure. Cell wall is present. So here in the thing, if it absorb water, so it creates the pressure on the wall. So same amount of the pressure is created by cell wall. Okay, so that thing, the particular liquid is not burst out. The particular liquid is not burst out of the particular cell. So what is the function of the cell wall? That provides the structure, strength, that provides the strength and rigidity of the cell. Okay, so here the thing is that is a plasma membrane, and cell wall is we completed the outer structure of that plasma membrane, that is known as cell wall. Here one more thing, that is the nucleus. So nucleus so here the nucleus is present each and every cell. So nucleus is present each and every cell. That the thing nucleus which can absorb material, nutrition and respiration, whatever gases, oxygen, each and everything, okay, which is received by the nucleus. Before nucleus, the nuclear membrane is double layer. Nuclear membrane is present. Each and every nucleus, nuclear membrane is present. Nuclear membrane is present, and inside the nuclear membrane there is a small pores in between. That is a small pores in the nuclear membrane. With the help of this pores, the transported material, nutrients or oxygen, that is transported inside the nucleus. Nuclear membrane is present, right? Nuclear membrane is present, and the small pores is also in the nuclear membrane that can transport each and everything in the nucleus. Okay, so now that is a nuclear membrane covered, that is a nucleus is covered by the nuclear membrane. So in some cases that nuclear membrane is not present. Nuclear membrane like is a new cell, whatever the new cell is born, new cell is prepared. Okay, so what thing happened? In that nucleus there is a non-nuclear membrane. So that particular thing is known as prokaryotic cell. Where nuclear membrane is not present, that particular thing is known as prokaryotic cell, primitive cell. Okay, after sometimes the cell is mature, that nuclear membrane is developed, then that particular cell is known as eukaryotic cell. Then the thing is known as eukaryotic cell. So prokaryotic cell, that is a nuclear membrane is not present, and in eukaryotic cell the nuclear membrane is present. Okay, so you also know what is the difference between the eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. Okay, so here I completed the plasma membrane, nucleus, and we will discuss about the different types of function and the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm there is a different types of material which can function together, like endoplasmic reticulum, vacuole, mitochondria, Golgi apertures. These different types of article thing we will discuss in our next lecture. Thank you so much.